Hello everyone, welcome to Open House Thursday on Your View. I am Mariah Afolabi Brown. As always, I have my lovely co-host here. Hi ladies.
Good morning.
We have Morenica in the building.
In the building.
How you doing? How was your holidays?
Good. Fantastic. It's always a pleasure to be here. And I was telling someone that 2017, this is about the first year that I actually sat down to write goals for the year. Yeah, and I kind of did a bit of strategic visioning, picturing myself in December and looking back at the year for achieved goals.
NLP working, I can
see
that. Good to have you on the show. So did you travel?
It was my pleasure. No. It was a busy holiday for me though.
We knew you're partying.
Did I? Maybe one or two. Maybe one or two. But I was quite busy.
Oh, right.
We did one together, right?
So you partied. Good.
One or two.
Yeah, okay,
and I worked.
Okay. She worked though.
Yeah.
We're busy.
I was busy.
Busy opening a restaurant.
Yeah, exactly.
Commissioning. She does interiors and she does like.
You need to help us out.
Morenica does not just interiors. She does like give her carcass and she'll bring the building.
And I'll put my magic fingers on it.
With the right budget.
Well, I work with your budget. Really.
We should bring you one day and find out how you moved from being a medical doctor to doing interior.
It's my pleasure. No, I've not.
I've not discussed
that. It will be my pleasure.
Okay,
good to have you on the show. Happy New Year. I'm good. We thank God for life.
So you be consistent with your flower thing, whatever this thing that they give us.
No, we are discussing gender equality, and it is about the girl, the day of the girl child. Okay. You know, so I'm just repping the girl child.
I can see that. I think those guys are so happy that they gave us. They gave you this thing. You're the only one that's really repping this.
Mine is hanging nicely in my curtain in my house.
How are you doing, Ua?
I'm very well, thank you. Like Morenica said, the truth is, I realized that when you have your goals written down and you're truly focused on them, you just find yourself every day, for every situation that comes, not even if you don't achieve it, your mind is so engrossed in that goal that you begin to see things that that links you to that goal. So for people that haven't written their goals down, I think there's still time for you to write down something that you want to do for this year.
I agree with you. I've been having sleepless nights.
Yeah. That's part of the goals.
I can't sleep because I'm constantly thinking. I can see the picture.
But that's
what I'm trying to achieve. So I can't sleep. I'm constantly writing.
During the Excellence in Leadership Conference, we had Bishop David Oyedepo, and he said something. He said one of the people at Landmark University were interviewing him, and they said, "What keeps you awake?" For us to stay awake, we take coffee, blah blah blah. So what keeps you awake? He said responsibilities. And that's the truth. When your mind is so focused on those things that you need to do, you cannot sleep.
I remember for Larisha Lakija in the same conference,
yes,
you have to pay a price.
Yes, so
part of the price is sleepless nights. So pay the price. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll look at the front pages of the newspaper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. Yes, we're going to start with the Punch. Accidental gunshot injures 2 in Aso Rock. Picture here of 2 beautiful babies. Woman abandons newborn twins over hospital bill. Buhari's silence on Kaduna killings reminder of Jonathan's negligence, says Okoje. Federal government okays arms for aviation security operatives. Sahara, Oando, MRS, 36 others win NNPC crude lifting contracts for 2016. Federal government slashes import duties on 115 items. Fayose petitions CJN, alleges APC plotting to remove him. Police raid Patience Jonathan's house in Abuja. Obasanjo attacks Awujale, says monarch is a liar. Malibu, AGF to file fresh charges against Shell and others. Borno local government chief arrested for supporting Boko Haram. Let's talk briefly about these twins. Who read that story?
I read the story.
Yeah, go ahead, Mary.
And it's quite heartbreaking. The woman had a set of twins in a hospital around Oshomolu, a maternity center. I think it's a private maternity clinic. And her husband wasn't in town at the time of delivery of the babies. And she had twins. They were trying to pay, they had to pay in installment, but the hospital didn't agree. And eventually, when she saw that her husband wasn't coming, she had to flee.
So what would you tell
leaving
your
the
husband?
2 children.
With 2 children, but she said she already had 5 children.
No
and she just couldn't-
wonder.
but
If she had
no.
been looking for those children since,
she wouldn't
and
do
they were
that.
via IVF,
Exactly.
that they came.
Yeah, and my worry,
She
and my
will stay.
worry is she carried them for 9 months. Pregnancy is not something that will just happen to you or deliver
Anyways,
the next day. You
We'll
should
talk
plan
about
9
it.
months.
I mean, we might still
Make it our hot
take a
topic.
hot topic one of
Might
these
make
days.
it a hot
I was going
topic,
to
but
talk
it's planning.
about the former Archbishop of the Catholic Church in Nigeria, Cardinal Okoje, saying that the ceaseless silence of the president on the banditry of herdsmen is sad and a reminder of the abdication of former President Jonathan's responsibilities that Buhari so eloquently disparaged, that the president shouldn't be keeping quiet now. The way we condemned Jonathan for not doing his duties, you know, protecting Nigerians against Boko Haram, is the exact same situation with the president keeping quiet about the killings in southern Kaduna.
Right, moving on to The Nation. Obasanjo, Awujale lied about Adenuga and Dangote. Picture here, and each of them have some quotes. Buhari okays arms for airport security men. NNPC okays 39 firms for oil trade. Fayose alleges plots to remove him. All right, so far
Is Buhari okaying arms for armed security men? I mean, for
Airport
security,
security
men. The story is a bit confusing because when I read through the story in The Punch, they were talking about the aviation minister and the minister for interior going round the airport and checking their fire, what's it called, stations, and noticing that the last time those stations were well equipped was in 1996. So they realized that if there's any fire incident that happens right now, it means
can't
that
quell it.
they cannot quell that fire. So most of the fire stations, the federal fire services, they are not functional. So I'm wondering, where is the
How
link
did they
with the
link it to
fire?
the story?
Because it wasn't firearms that was inside the story.
it was
the fact
the
meeting
story was
for-
talking about the accidental
discharge.
gunshot discharge after the FEC meeting, and I think we're linking up with the story. We'll look at that in another
That's not
paper.
what I read in Nation, child. It was just the 2 ministers and the
Aviation
president's aide, Femi Adesina, telling why aviation
Yes.
personnel are now going to be carrying arms, that the
Exactly.
president has assented to it.
Yes, that's a different
That's
story.
a different story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, moving on to Vanguard. Obasanjo fires back at Awujale. Nobody read that story.
I read it.
Right. First FEC meeting in 2017 with the ministers here. 2 injured as operatives' gun goes off in presidential villa. Police raid Patience Jonathan's Abuja house. Tinubu, Dantata, Oga, others clinch Nigeria's 1.3 million barrel per day oil deal. Let's talk about Obasanjo and Awujale here.
So the Awujale has written his autobiography, and former President Obasanjo is saying that some claims in that autobiography are false. They're particularly bickering over former
Mike Adenuga.
Mike Adenuga, Globacom
Globacom
boss, who EFCC is now after. The allegations were that former President Obasanjo alleged that the Petroleum Technology Development Fund that was headed by his vice, then Atiku, some of the monies in that fund was used to buy shares in Globacom. And so both of them are now bickering that you wanted Adenuga
to build a facility
maybe a
in
department in
Bell
Bell University,
University.
and that did not happen. And he's
I think
saying
a
no,
library.
that he just invited Adenuga, you know, to come.
No, but
and
he's even
say-
alleging that
Wasn't even aware.
Adenuga supported the library with some huge
That's
funds.
Awujale.
Awujale saying, but Obasanjo said there
Obasanjo
was
is
nothing
saying
like that.
there was nothing like
And
that.
He
He
didn't see,
didn't-
there was no such donation.
Adenuga even pulled out.
that he just
eventually.
invited him to come and look around and how he could invest.
Anyways,
He wasn't asking
And also there
him
was
for
another
money.
allegation of Obasanjo using Aliko Dangote as front for businesses and all of that.
Well, let's talk
So
about
that's
this.
so
messy. A lot of
Patient Jonathan,
Jonathan's brother's
hey.
house. His her brother's house.
The allegation was that 3 Hilux pickups went around, was in 2 p.m. or so. They went to the house
Maitama.
and Patient Jonathan's brother's house, and nobody was in the house, and they broke the door and entered and tried to.
but there was a
to-
security guard.
The
At
police
the
said
gate.
that police
They
said
said there was
that
just
they are
one
not aware of
security
this
guard.
raid.
But
They
the
are
police has come out. But this thing is funny, Ryan. If they say they are not aware, it's even a bigger problem
It's
for
a
them.
bigger problem.
How can 3 Hilux that is loaded with security personnel, go to somebody's house and break in. That is,
it's a sting operation.
Hey, no, not the issue of sting or this one. Because what is the basis? If you want to perform like a routine check, you should
must have warrant
present a warrant.
A warrant.
Police have said they are not aware, so we don't even know who.
Right.
So somebody will just wear military uniform.
So they should keep
They didn't tell us which
investigating.
uniform they were wearing. They just said
I'm just saying,
deputies.
security.
They'll keep investigating.
The way you just smiled at me made me keep quiet because I was going to attack you quickly and say that should be the last sting operation. You were in support of it.
Moving on to Daily Sun.
The person was in the house now.
Sun.
So nobody's in the house. You break down the person's
That's
door.
not even the issue.
How do you know if he's in
But
the
there's
house
just
or
a lot
not
of
until you
stories.
break in?
DSS. Moving on to Daily Sun. Obasanjo tackles Awojale over Adenuga and Dangote. Assertions in your book, Tissue of Lies on Truth's ex-president tells the Oba. Picture here of tourists admiring the suspended Iyake Lake, also known as Ado Awayi Lake, at the peak of Okeado Mountain in Oyo State. Right. Fayose alleges impeachment plot. Arrested Borno local government chair worked for Boko Haram. Army alleges. Masab warns federal government over Kaduna killings. And bullet hits female staff in Aso Rock. Let's talk about that bullet hitting. Okay, no, I think we talked about that already.
No, we didn't really talk about the accidental discharge after the FEC meeting. One of the security personnel was trying to clean up, empty his gun, and accidentally
he shot himself.
He shot the bullet hit him and also a female staff. But they said they rushed her to the Aso Rock medical hospital,
and she was stable at the time of
she's responding to treatment.
Okay.
So it's a different story from the other one. I wanted to quickly talk about the Boko Haram, the army alleging that one of the
local government chairman might be involved.
They said because according to the reports, that his father, begged him to protect one of the Boko Haram members. And this local government chairman has been very active in the joint task force, JTF, working hand in hand to fight the Boko Haram. So they said that even if he's been supportive in the fight of Boko Haram, it does not
mean they can't investigate him.
It doesn't mean that they cannot investigate him. So I've always said it that the Boko Haram war, there is no way that top people will not be involved, because the way they gained so much ground, I think it's important that every stone should be
I read an article a couple of days ago in the papers saying that when the president was saying that this is an asymmetrical war, meaning that they've totally disarmed the Sambisa forest. Now they're going around to various pockets and they'll keep doing a lot of maybe bombs thrown all around the place. So we should all understand that they are winning the war, but we should understand that because of the type of war it is, we'll still hear little pockets
totally
of
like that.
Until they totally eliminate them, we'll have pockets of bombings here and there. All right, moving on, the final paper to this day. Obasanjo Awojale. This thing made headlines. Serious matter.
I don't know why.
Fayose accuses APC of plot to remove him from office. Who read that story? Please, I want to read it. Army confirms arrest of Borno local government chairman over alleged links to Boko Haram. NNPC names Oando Sahara 37 other winners of 2017 crude oil term contracts. And that's, they say it was 18 Nigerian companies, 11 international, and 5 other IOCs won that contract bid. So hopefully we'll see how that goes. But they are only entitled to 32,000 barrels per day each, except for the one that is connected to the NNPC. I think that one is, I can't remember, Duke Oil. That one is allowed to get 90,000. But this Fayose story. Morenica, did you read the story?
I didn't read
the
story.
Fayose quickly said that he's being threatened. His office actually is being threatened, and that the APC wants to dethrone him, and that he has incidented a case with the Chief Justice of Nigeria.
The acting Chief Justice.
Acting Chief Justice. What's his name again? Onogen.
Yes.
That former governor of Ekiti State.
Duke Oil. That one is allowed to get 90,000. But this Fayose story. Morenica, did you read the story?
I didn't read the story.
Fayose quickly said that he's being threatened. His office actually is being threatened, and that the APC wants to dethrone him, and that he has incidented a case with the Chief Justice of Nigeria.
The acting Chief Justice.
Acting Chief Justice. What's his name again?
Onogen.
Onogen.
Yes.
That former governor of Ekiti State,
Fayemi,
and one other person,
Oni,
Segun Oni,
yes,
that just because he has refused to join them in this their APC, and that is the only voice of opposition in Nigeria, they are threatening him that his case is a done deal.
So
we are watching.
Okay, we'll see how that goes. All right, that's all we can take on page review. When we return, we discuss Sultan of Sokoto's view on equal inheritance rights. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. For some time now, there has been a debate on the status of women under the Sharia law. Last year, the bill was introduced by Senator Abiodun Olujimi on the Gender and Equality Opportunities Bill, but did not pass a second reading. The bill now is under consideration by the Senate. However, the Sultan of Sokoto, Said Abubakar, said that the bill on equal inheritance is against Islamic religion and the Muslims would not accept it. He further stated that the religion of Islam cannot treat men and women equally. Now, the objective of this conversation on this show today is to learn from our Muslim brothers and sisters and to understand better if they agree with this position or what their thoughts are, and also hear from other people too, your thoughts on this. You can call us on 070-8066-8014. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Now, usually we have Nima on the show, but unfortunately Nima is having issues with her car, so she couldn't make it here today. But we have Morenike in the building. To help us out, but I think we're going to get Nima on the phone. I'm not sure if she's on the phone already. Once we get Nima on, we'll get. But let me start with Morenike. Your thoughts on what the Sultan
okay,
said.
the Gender Equality Bill.
Yes.
Okay, my thought is this. I think we should not misunderstand the stand of the Sultan on this issue. Okay. The Gender Equality Bill, it has a whole lot of things, embedded in it.
Yes.
They're talking about violence against women. They're talking about equality, between equal business opportunity, equal education opportunities, inheritance, and all of that. Yeah. Now, Islam is a way of life, right? And I tell people that when these laws were written, when Allah, gave us all of this way to live our life, it's because He knows the people He created and what the different things we'll face in life and all of that. Okay. So because of that, different things has been laid down. Now, talking about the equal rights, for example, let's talk about inheritance in Sharia law. In Sharia law, there is a way that the inheritance is shared. Okay. They tell you that for a male child takes 2 of what a female child gets. And for me, I see if a male child gets 2 of what a female child gets, the female child, apart from inheriting from her father, the female child gets married and is taken care of by a man. Okay. But a man starts his own life and is taking care of somebody else. Do you understand? So and because of that is just fair. Okay. So you can imagine if I share equally with my brothers, and I go on and marry somebody that's taking care of me and giving me more money, and they now have to. So it's only fair.
Let me pause you for a second because you've addressed one angle of it. Yeah. I think we have Nima on the line. I'd like to also hear our own views on this. Nima, good morning.
Good morning, Mariah.
How you doing? We missed you.
Very well.
Yeah. So concerning this issue we talked about, what are your thoughts on the Sultan's comments that Muslims would not accept this Gender and Equality Opportunities Bill?
I'm thinking, my understanding is that the Sultan only expressed the Islamic views on inheritance, and is not objecting to gender equality. All is saying that Islam has already ensured gender equality. In Islam, prior to Islam, there were different laws that, there were bias against women and inheritance. But when the Quran was revealed, a Quranic verse was revealed to ensure that women were never put out of their inheritance, whether on the father's side or through their husbands. And in Islam, we have such a very, very perfect system that ensures also that when a woman is divorced, or whether her husband is late, that her maintenance is ensured from his estate. The only thing that takes priority when it comes to inheritance, when a person dies, whether testate or intestate, is the fact that the person's death, the cost of his burial, such very important, whether he owes somebody and the entire estate will be enough to settle that debt, is what can, upset a woman. But as long as when the debt has been settled, and his burial cost has been settled, whatever is left from the estate, the Quranic heirs. Now, when I say Quranic heirs, all members of all his family members that are of blood ties to him. Now, if we're talking that a man dies, let's not forget that it also covers a woman. The law also provides that when a woman dies, her blood ties, whether from her father's side or by marriage, that her husband and all her children must inherit. The Quran has perfected it. They are called Quranic heirs because the Quran outlines all those number of people.
Okay.
Do you understand?
We understand that.
It's a perfect system of inheritance already. Now, when there's conflict of laws like this, when it comes to the legal angle, what the law should ensure is that, these people are allowed, which is already provided by law. We already practice this system where a person practices Islam. Like I, for instance, never married under the Marriage Act. I, for instance, have always practiced Islamic law. When I die, the law uses my personal way of life to determine how my estate will be devolved. That is, if I die intestate. All right. If I even want to die intestate, I just simply write that my estate should be, administered by Islamic law.
All right. Let me pause you for hang in there. Don't go yet. So we understand that this is actually about more of the inheritance. Now, but the issue of gender equality on its own. Let me let Jumoke come in here first.
I'd like to jump in because we are presuming that every woman is going to marry. And if we were just a religious country, I think that religion has taken care of the role of the man and the woman. But we are a non-religious, we're a secular country. And that's where we now need laws to such extent that a woman, if she doesn't marry, she has one portion of her father's inheritance and her brother, for instance, if he doesn't marry, has two portions. It seems unfair. That's why we're saying that gender equality. If not, we will not be needing the bill at all. For instance, Christians, even in gender issues, Christians are already settled. Your wife, you lead her. But what if she doesn't marry? What happens to a woman that the laws say a male family member has to determine if she will go through CS or not? What happens to a single lady who chooses never to marry and she never gets an accommodation to rent because people look at single women somehow? But if we have a law that says that all men and women are equal first, when you now decide to marry under Islamic or Christian rights, you now follow those tenets.
Got you.
We are also assuming that this single woman you are talking about would have a father that can leave her an inheritance. I think for me, these things are moral issues. These are issues that I think that, we don't need to fight over it. We don't need to bicker. There are so many things that can help change a lot of situations. And you see, the only problem I have with people fighting equality, throwing bills at each other, is that the way they go at it, you cannot come and meet a grown person that this is what I'm used to all my life, and you now come and try to give me something. Of course, the Sultan, he's not just focusing on inheritance. From his statement, even equality is also part of that issue.
Let me come to America.
So I think, let us first of all find a way to bring it in a very attractive way.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Nima.
Can I come in now?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Legislators, to me, what will let me not use something too negative, but I think they are not up in their game. If you want to draft a bill, get lawyers involved. We have precedents to show how this system has been run without any conflict in the past. There are legal precedents from the Court of Appeal, even from the Supreme Court on Islamic inheritance. Now, what the Sultan is only saying is that, can you make, because what Jumoke doesn't understand is that when you make this law, precedent, superseding all other laws, that means all other laws will derive their authority from this law.
Yeah,
when a Muslim woman, for instance, wants to say, okay, I insist, or a man wants to say, I insist on the Islamic principle, someone can now bring this law and say it is contravening that law.
Okay, say what if she's
Then
not married?
They should be creating conflict where they should be creating solutions. Now, what they should have done is allow every woman who wants to bring their inheritance under this bill, now which is not law yet, to be covered by this bill and put an option for the Muslims, just as it has been practiced by our legal system in the past, perfectly to the extent that we have no conflict, that Muslims should be allowed to use their own system of law to cover their inheritance. Do you understand?
Okay.
This bill talks on other issues, that I don't have the time to talk about. But for the purpose of inheritance, they should draft it in such a way that it does not create a conflict.
All right, thank you. Hang in there, Nima.
He wants his religion to be used as his, devolution system. It should be allowed.
All right, hang in there, Nima. We're going to come back to you, but let me come to Morenike now.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with what Nima is saying. Yeah, if they pass a bill, that now comes, that is kind of in conflict with the laws of Islam, that means I have the choice if they give me half to take this or that, even if I'm married, So I think when they're passing a bill, when you have laws that goes with the Islamic laws, let us leave that. And there are so many other things like the violence to the girl child, like a lot of other things that yet we want you, domestic violence and all that, which Islam does not stand for. Do you understand? And when we're talking about this equality,
but which law should stand?
If we are talking about equality between man and woman,
yes,
Islam is not saying man and woman they are different people. Like if you're talking about spiritually and all of that, a woman can have the same business opportunities and the same education opportunities and all of that as man. Even in Islam, a woman can be minister, can be whatever, can even be president. But the only thing is that a woman cannot be like the imam, for example, of a mosque, and there's a reason to that. Do you understand?
Because the same thing in Christianity.
What Islam is trying to ensure is that there's balance of wealth in the system. Regards its responsibility in the whole.
Okay.
Now,
are they pushing them to go and get married?
What if the man doesn't marry?
A woman does not have that same responsibility under Islamic law.
Okay.
You are not compelled. Your wealth is not, your husband doesn't have any right over your wealth.
We have
but
to take a break,
Nima. To balance that wealth is why we have that proportion.
Yes, we need to take a break, Nima. When we come back, we'll take calls from our viewers, get their thoughts and then tweets. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Okay, so we're good.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. Now that we have a better understanding of the Islamic angle concerning this bill, we're now going to talk about the actual need for the Gender and Equality Opportunities Bill, which was presented initially by Senator Olujimi. You can call us on 07080668014. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweet. Now, Jumoke, I want you to jump in.
Some people like Owa will say that there's no need for this bill. Why? Because women already have equal opportunities. Her father educated all of them. Nobody had to force her father to educate them. But there's still some men who, for whatever reasons known to them, will say, because this girl is going to end up in a man's house, he will only educate his sons. If there is a law that makes that an offense, he will think twice about it.
Okay, let me take this call. Hang in there. Pause that. Shay, are you there?
Yeah.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Hello.
Good morning. Go ahead. Thanks for calling.
Good morning. I love you guys. My own contribution is this. Sorry to use you. It's like Jumoke always want to have everything to our side. They are talking about Islamic. I'm a Christian. They are talking about the law that guides Islamic. When you are talking about Islam, they are telling you that in their own way, supported by the Holy Quran, that this is the way things should be done. You are telling me that this somebody doesn't marry. You don't need to go. You're a Christian. You defend your own faith. They are defend their own faith. Let everybody have their way. If the traditionalists come from, I didn't be any from the line now.
All right, thank you very much, Shay. I'm not sure that's what she...
what I was saying. So we have the Child Rights Act, which makes it illegal for any child not to be educated. But when you have the Gender Equality Bill, over time,
every Nigerian will start to see a male child and a female child as equal, because it will start, because it's now law and people start to go to court with this law. Eventually it will start to erode our culture. We just start to see all children as equal, because in Nigeria today, you have a male child and you dance. Some people, when they have female children, they are crying until they have a male child because of gender disparity.
Yeah. Well, let me come to you.
Since she mentioned my name, let me answer her back. Now, when I say that there is absolutely no need for this, I'm not saying that it is not a good thing for there to be equality between a man and a woman. I'm saying that the fight that we want to fight, we should fight from the smaller unit. You don't win battles going to the... Now, I like the point you raised about my father. He understood. He knew the importance. Now, imagine if we go to every home, educate every family, and begin to, in smaller portions, begin to tell them this is the reason, and they see success stories of people in the past. Of course, this fight that we are talking about, the bill, there will not even be any need for it in the first place, because everybody will have that clear understanding. And trust me, it's not every man now that has that picture that, oh, because you are a girl, stay in one corner. A lot of people are even seeing that female children, when you educate them, you will have peace of mind in your old age.
In your own community.
It's not
there
in my community.
People in the lower cadre that still believe in what she's saying.
I grew up in wait, all these things that you're talking about, is it not enough? No,
even just
hold on, I'm just saying.
Even in Yoruba land.
Even in the East.
You go to the village here in Lagos.
God bless you.
There are some poor families.
No, you see,
poor
exactly.
families where they will say, use this girl, don't worry, stay in the house, help your mother in the kitchen.
So
that's why is it not coming from a place of ignorance?
Yeah,
so it is coming from a place of ignorance. It's an ignorance problem that we are having.
Let me take Morenike. Pause for a second. Let me take Abdullah. Abdullah, are you there? Abdullah, are you there? Sorry for keeping you. Please go ahead.
I'm there.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, my contribution is still on the inheritance that we're talking about. Really, if you look at every other religion, it is only Islam that has a way that has talked about sharing, that is inheritance. Even Islam even take care that, because it's God that created us, and that some people will die and leave his parents behind. Even when you leave your parents behind, your parents, either your father or your mother, they have certain percentage that they will take. Even if you anybody that you are taking care of, even if you have a servant that depends on you, it also has a percentage that it will take.
All right.
So, but not in this modern life that when a man dies, everything belongs to the wife. When the wife dies, everything belongs to the husband or the children.
All right. Thank you very much, Abdullah. Thank you very much. Let's let Morenike jump in here.
Then another clarification that I want to make is I think people should know the difference between what the Islamic teaching are and the cultural practices are. True. Like Jumoke mentioned now about some people training the male child and not the female. True, I know some families. It's a cultural practice. It's a cultural practice. Some people that will say that my wife cannot work. It's a cultural practice.
Yes.
Do you understand?
And it's coming from
I think that just
imagine if there's a law.
God bless
you.
So
that woman whose husband
I'm
is
in support.
Hanging there, that woman who's that husband who's insisting that the wife stays home, or the child stays in the house, has a law to help ensure.
Let us be realistic.
Be realistic.
You don't see poor man when they tell him wife say no work. It's not possible.
But if there's a bill,
I said they are. I said they are. I know a very poor man, and because of his religion, his wife does not leave the house, and he's very poor. They have 5 children.
Because of his cultural practice.
It's a cultural practice.
Let me say culture.
Not religion.
Let me say culture.
Let me take this
because I don't know his mind.
There are lots
of them out there.
Exactly. Of ignorance.
Okay, let's take this call.
Educate them.
Hang in there. Let's take this call. Are you there?
Hello.
Taufik, good morning. Thanks for calling.
Yeah. Good morning to you. One thing I want you to understand about people that claim that girl should not be equally educated like the man. Go and take research all through wherever they say it. It is poverty that covers our home. It's not as if they don't know the fact that when female children are equally educated, it will make the society a better place.
Thank you.
But take researches from today. It is poverty that covers such a home. You can't hear such things from rich people. So it is the fact. Thank you very much.
I want to say something. When he's talking about poverty, let me tell you why. When you mentioned the East, I think, or in my opinion, So, because somebody mentioned the East. In my opinion, I think the reason, because my grandfather did that, he educated my mother's older brother. My mom is the second born, and she had to put herself through school. The reason they do that is not because they don't want to educate the girl child. They feel that if he's a man, most of the people from the East that I know, they educated the firstborn, that usually sometimes they are men. When they educate them, they now expect them to educate their siblings. They will not walk through school. So it's not like they really don't want to educate
what if the
the
female
child.
child is the older one?
Education is just one angle of it. There's so many angles of this gender equality
That
issue.
she has said also happens in Yoruba land,
It
where
happens,
a man has many wives and just picks the firstborn sons, educates them,
So
and
that they will not educate
their.
Let me take this call. Hang in there.
What if we now-
Let me take this call from Ikorodu.
Go ahead.
Good morning, are you there? Real
Yeah,
one.
good morning.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead.
Every one of you are doing a wonderful job.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Nima, Murayo, Jumoke, Uwa, and everyone that is there, you guys are doing something that is very
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Now, let me just chip in something. You see, when we talk about rights, maybe child or the daughter or the son, Islam, the way Islam talks about it, I think, and one thing about Murayo, you guys are not doing something that is very just. You know, in talking about something like this, you need to bring an Islamic scholar to that place and let them just tell you how it is, why this is like this and why this is like this. And let me just chip something that I just heard from a scholar. He said, now, when God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he talks about, this law of a thing, he talks based on what he said. Now, he said, first of all, he said the men are the maintainers of the woman. Now, when he talks about something like that, normally the way it is, a woman shouldn't work. She can work if she can, but the way Allah talks about it in the Quran, and since the woman doesn't work, the man is meant to be the maintainer over the woman. Now, in talking about the distributing of the rights or anything like that, the man should
take another angle. Thank you very much, everyone. Thanks for your call.
There are lots of women who are not married today. Imagine that you are from this culture and you are in your 40s, you're doing well in business. They won't sell land to you because you are a single woman.
Yes.
It's not of
That's
your
the
making.
gender
That's why we
equality
need this bill.
So it's actually
It's one for all of us to see sons and daughters as equal, educate them, allow women to inherit their husbands when they die rather than their husband's brothers. Allow women, be they married, single or widowed, to buy property. Allow women to bail their family members. Allow women to
decide on their bodies. I want to see us. Right now, we don't have that. So that's the issue. That the law changes the mentality. That mentality you're thinking that we have to go to house. Once you have a law that supports it, that supports the woman, the mentality gradually changes in the society.
Another thing, hold on, sorry, let me finish before I forget. Until this law comes and all of us start to see things differently, a man on the streets will see Morenike and say, I will slap you now, just because she's a woman. Let me quickly tell a story. A gardener who likes to be respected saw a woman walk into the house he was working in. They say that this gardener is always dressing nice, just so that don't talk down at me or anything. The lady didn't greet him and walked into the building. She was looking for accommodation. She didn't see anyone in the house and then came back. Oga, good afternoon. No, I'm looking for people who live in this house. He just slapped her. Wow. Did you not see me before? What was her offense? That she did not greet him before she walked into the house. Now they hear now. Listen, he has an inferiority complex. Listen now, Uwa. The people who were defending him were saying, but she said should have greeted him. We agree that greeting is a respect, but should you slap? Now, if he was a man that did, listen now, Morayo.
You can't say because of gender. You can't say because of gender.
If he was a man, he would not have slapped him.
He could have. If he was a foolish man.
No, he would not have.
If he was a woman, he could have.
If he was a
woman, younger man, he could have slapped him. So we don't know categorically because of
gender. If he was a woman that was also the gardener, she may not have slapped him. She may now keep malice that sure you saw me before, you didn't greet me.
Okay, I have to go on a quick break.
All these violence and things.
I think we will talk about it when we come back.
Right, we'll be right back. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. All right, so Morenike, do you want to jump in here? Because I know that you have some thoughts on this gender issue.
Yeah, okay. Like, I always go back because I realize that a lot of the callers, they come in and they go back to the Islamic. Now, I think we have, you know, we have sorted that out,
yes.
that the Islamic angle is not against the, so don't let us misunderstand the Sultan.
Okay.
The Sultan is talking about the inheritance and all of these other things that we have in the Islamic laws.
Okay.
It's not that the Islam is not in support of violence, you know,
women.
child, not educating the female child and all of
Discrimination.
these things. Discrimination, where Islam is not against that. So now talking about the cultural practices again.
Yes.
Like was said, education.
Share your experience now. You said that recently you went with your
Recently I went someplace with my children. I went to a place with my children and I wanted, because all the children were kind of squashed up in a place, and my friend was already trying to make payment, you know, to get inside. She already paid, they were trying to give her the token. So I spoke with the security man. Please, can you allow these children? This place is not safe. You know, see all the children, can you allow them just stay here? He said no. He started pushing. I said, excuse me, don't let me just push you. He said, how dare you? Can you talk to your husband like that at home? Imagine. And I was looking at him, excuse me, you're not my husband. Do you understand?
So that's the mentality. You, the security man, everybody feels that they are better than a woman, or they are in a better position than a woman. So they can actually talk down on any woman. Regardless of who you are, your education, how yellow you are, don't care.
And Ryan, this issue isn't the issue of marriage alone. It's not.
It's a gender, it's a mentality.
Gender issue. Yes. And because our laws sort of assume that everyone will marry eventually. For instance, in Christendom, they say, woman, submit to your own husband. So every man believes that he's the head of his wife. But every man is not the head of every woman.
Yes, exactly. We have an evangelist. Good morning. Are you there, sir?
Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir. How are you doing?
I'm all right.
Go ahead, please.
First caller.
Thanks for calling.
And the thing about the right thing, it happens to me in my hometown where I lost my mom. Before we could say Jack Robinson, they've shared my mother to my father's younger brother without seeing my father. You know? And after then, another thing now happened. You know, 2011, I wanted to contest in my community, which is Uvele North, Urugu, in Ozwaka. My father mother is from there. Do you know what they said? They said I should go to my father's place and contest. I'm a child of a woman. You understand? I lost all my plans. You know, they don't even know the value. The thing there is that we should know we all are all Nigerians. We should know that life is not just you being a man or you being a woman. You see, now only we will get.
All right. Thank you very much, Evangelist. I think that this actually affects men and women too. Yeah.
Yes. Do you know why I still stand by this point that we don't need laws? We need mind reformation. Okay. We have a lot of laws in our land currently. How much of them are being implemented? This law you're talking about, education, equality, right? For both
gender equality,
you know, equal rights to educate a girl child and a boy. We have already a law that says every child should be educated. So who is upholding that law? Are we fighting those laws? Yes, I understand that when the law is there, it will tweak a little, but it will not be as effective as a transformation that happens from inside. When you want to change something, you do not just change and white dress it outside. It comes from a deeper place. Where we have problem right now, some people are uncultured. Some people don't even know what mannerism, what kind of, how to address people.
I like that point.
Something that you're saying. You're saying the security guard and all that. I have not seen any security guard that talk to me anyhow.
Oh,
I haven't.
You don't know.
I haven't.
Okay,
because you know why?
I'm not entered.
You know why? Let me say something. First of all, my mind is not even tuned to somebody that is arrogant and outright silly.
But let me
know. But the thing is, it's not about you.
Let's not go that far. Something as small as even in our churches. I don't know about your church, but my own church. Women are the ones that come and do offering. They do the testimony. I've not seen a woman come and preach.
My church
on Sundays.
My church, they preach. You see what I'm saying?
So maybe we should start from our religious institutions, because
they are going to quote the Bible for you.
Because
that a
the
woman should go and stay
when you see a woman on mounts the pulpit, it's because she wants to take offering. or she wants to do testimony. That's all. Or make announcements.
You see, that's what I'm saying. That when
but
you
the actual word,
let me explain.
The actual word, I have not seen a woman preach.
My point. You see, that is why
in my own parish,
as a human being, Rayo, you must make sure that you are deliberate about who you surround yourself around. In my own church, there's nothing like, oh, this is what the pastor, the senior pastor can do, and the wife of the pastor cannot do.
But in my camp, let me adjust. In my camp, the women preach. Let me just adjust.
But the point
the point I'm trying is that the perception is still that women, your own role is this, and that's what we're trying to change. Let me take this call from Yahaya, Niger State. Yahaya, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Okay. I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah. So I want to my contribution goes like this. What the other lady sitting by my right saying, in Islam, it's very clear because we have Islamic law that guides the inheritance. So the issue of gender equality is not there. Islam respects females more than the males in terms of some certain aspects. But in terms of inheritance, God's not the best why he choose that the man should take the female should take half of whatever the man will have.
Thank you very much, Yahaya. Thanks
I think we have agreed pretty much that as far as you're practicing Islam, they can allow the woman have one and the man have two. But we must have equality across the land so that every girl child is educated and have equal opportunities to every man.
To be able to put in check.
Omige says every religious law should be accepted within the limits it's consistent with the law of the land. The bill protects the girls. Babi Jibril says by marriage, women become citizens of any state in Nigeria, but men can't. Women are asking for too much. I disagree. Ademi Roju says, how much have current laws changed Nigeria? Even in the first world countries, they are still dealing with gender issues. Akintunde says, it is simply a matter of educating the mind. The bill must strike a balance, cultural and religious values in mind. DM Global says, I was in Dushe, Jigawa State in 2007 to carry out a survey. I was told that there cannot be equality, but equity. Newman says, religion is the opium, destruction of the people. Every religious law being abused by Nigerian men. A bill is imminent.
This guy says, Adebayo says, it's about our mentality and the way we value lives. There is no law that suits all.
But the thing that we're now saying, for the equality of human being, and every person having the same equal rights to life and opportunities, regardless of our religious differences, we must have a law that supersedes all, but takes into cognizance the religion and ethnicity of the land, to the extent that every boy and girl, woman and man, regardless of what you decide to do with your life, is protected. If I decide that I want to be single and I want to buy land all over Nigeria, I must be allowed to, without somebody saying, come on, go and sit down there.
Let me just make one quick point. A lot of companies right now are fighting towards women empowerment. When you go to certain banks, there are programs specific for women. A lot of things are being done for the woman. So let me tell you something. Me, I want equal measure for everybody, every human being. Whether you are a man or you are a woman. All right. Do you understand? Let it not be like, oh, it is gender equality. Equality for everybody.
We are saying the same thing.
I think the same thing. That's what we can take on the show. That's
just say equality.
Because human and woman. Gender now. That's what we can take on the show. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.
You man, woman. Man, woman, everyone.